We talked about this last week and it was huge. You can now get 2-year rental ratings put onto your customers' credit reports, significantly increasing FICO. And this makes it through all levels of FICO, all the way through DU and LP, and impacts your mortgage decision. It absolutely works. It's phenomenal. It's a game changer. Jeanne Kelly, the banner you see on your screen right here, Jeanne Kelly, her team can get this done for your clients. Just click on the banner you see right here, right below the video, or it's over on your right. When you see Jeanne's face there, click it, get in touch with them, get your customers' 2-year rental history put on their credit report as a credit rating, significantly increase those FICO scores. That's the difference between FHA, Fannie Mae, and great pricing differences. Jeanne Kelly, click the banner.
You know, Frank, it is really cool, and it's surprising that nobody is doing this yet, right? Like, we're just getting around to rental ratings. I've heard it's between, well, don't quote me on this, but like 40 to 100 points. It's massive. It just changes everything for your borrowers. Super, super cool stuff, and I'm stoked that we have it. Anyways, on with the show. Every day we come into work, and the heat gets turned up, doesn't it? The plot thickens, the intrigue grows. And this is real, my friends.
I'm super serial.
And we have been talking about this for a long, long time. When everybody was telling you housing was bulletproof, we simply asked. That's all we did. We just asked. We said, hey, what about the mature date on all those loans in forbearance? We just asked.
So then the year of forbearance expired, and our new President Biden said, let's give them 6 more months of no payments. And we did.
You see, and when that happened, we just saw it as part of a big old Biden bag of entitlements and giveaways. We kind of wrote it off over here. But then we started hearing some murmurs that maybe we pushed forbearances down the road because we didn't have any plan to deal with the massive, what are they calling it, Frank? The tidal wave. Yeah, the tidal wave of potential foreclosures.
So then, you guys remember just a couple shows ago, the CFPB, they came out and then they told the servicers, you better have a plan to thwart these foreclosures or it's your ass. They didn't say that.
They basically said that, Frank.
Okay, all right, they did threaten servicers in a very desperate tone. Seriously, right from the CFPB memo, here you go.
There is a tidal wave of distressed homeowners who will need help from their mortgage servicers in the coming months. Responsible servicers should be preparing now. There is no time to waste and no excuses for inaction. No one should be surprised by what is coming. Our first priority is ensuring struggling families get the assistance that they need. Servicers who put struggling families first have nothing to fear from our oversight, but we will hold accountable those who cause harm to homeowners and their families.
And they actually did say that. That was copy and paste, word for word, by the way. Desperate and threatening, isn't it? Now, why is the CFPB doing this? Because they don't have a plan. We're staring down potentially the largest tidal wave of foreclosures the country has ever seen, and there's no real plan in place from the feds.
Well, factually, Frank, you're wrong. There is a plan. It is keep extending the forbearance period and threaten servicers to figure this whole thing out. Now, why do we say this?
Because just yesterday, the CFPB now recommended extending the forbearance period another 6 months.
Wow.
As we said, they got no plan. Now, it's kind of exciting in the same way a hurricane or an earthquake is exciting, right?
Nearly 1.7 million borrowers are expected to exit forbearance programs in September and the following months. And many of those homeowners have fallen behind on their mortgage payments by a year or longer. In normal times, lenders can begin foreclosure actions against borrowers who haven't paid for 120 days.
And according to CFPB Senior Advisor Diane Thompson, as soon as they exit forbearance, they could be placed in foreclosure immediately.
It's potentially another global depression. And it doesn't really play out well politically, does it? The optics on a depression are bad if we recreate a 21st century version of the damn grapes of wrath.
Now, according to the CFPB, the latest round of kick the can down the road 6-month forbearance extension is a good thing. Why? Well, here's why.
Number one, it gives borrowers more time. As if the 2+ years of no payment wasn't enough time. Well, the CFPB says the proposed rule would create create a special pre-foreclosure review period that would generally prohibit mortgage companies from starting foreclosures until after Christmas, I mean December 31st, 2021.
2, it gives servicers flexibility to try to figure out a plan and not foreclose on everybody. The CFPB says it lets servicers offer certain streamlined loan modification options to borrowers even if they haven't filed complete paperwork yet.
This is just great, Frank. No payment for 2+ years, and then you don't have to pay your promissory note agreed upon amount? Seriously, if you didn't go into forbearance, man, you just lost out.
And finally, 3, it keeps borrowers informed of their options. Now, our thinking is, if you didn't figure it out in the first year and a half, what's 6 more months gonna do for you? I don't know.
It's worth pointing out that there's a lot of people who needed this forbearance. We're not talking about them, we're talking about people who simply don't like to make their payments. And there is a portion of people who went into forbearance who fit that description. That's who we're talking about. Anyways, there you have it. Survey says we get 6 more months of no payments, 2 Christmases with no house payments, and then for your efforts, it looks like you're gonna get a loan modification. Now, I gotta wonder, for those who didn't go into a loan mod, when you certainly could have, seeing how this whole thing is playing out, do you now kind of wish you would have?
You know, here's the thing. You know, like you said, a lot of people needed those forbearances.
Yep.
There's no choice. This COVID thing wiped people out.
Totally.
Right? There's certainly a handful of people, probably a lot, who just took advantage of it.
Yep.
Right? Hey, I don't want to make my payment. At the end of the day, it's kind of a drag because whether you got into it just because you felt like it or got into it because you absolutely needed to, at the end of the day, there's gonna be foreclosures.
Oh yeah.
There's going to be, as hard as they're trying with extensions and threatening the servicers,
They're trying
and
to
doing
thwart
all
a
that,
catastrophe, Frank.
there's going to be a wave of foreclosures no matter what.
Yep.
So that's kind of that's the rough thing, especially for those who just really got screwed by this whole thing. I feel really, really bad for those people.
I do too, but you know what? For the people who can't afford a house right now, who have the money and are aspiring homeowners, here's your inventory, it's on the way.
Yeah, it's an ugly way to get it, but it is true.
Yep.
So anyway, guys, leave us your comments down below. Forward, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch you later here at the National Real Estate Post.
Later!